Meanwhile, Republicans say recent school board recall elections in San Francisco could be seen as a precursor to a, quote, red wave in November. Now, frustrated voters overwhelmingly recalling 3 school board members for focusing on, quote, woke politics instead of children's education. North Carolina Congresswoman Virginia Foxx telling Fox News Digital, quote, Democrats are in trouble politically because they've ignored parents. The San Francisco school board recall election is another loss for Democrats. And guys, Fox says that Republicans are committed to standing up for parents and for students. Carly, Todd?
All right, Brooke, thank you. Joining us now, Leslie Huang, a recall petition organizer, and Rob Kuttner, a local parent and recall petition organizer. Good morning to you both. Rob, it wasn't even close. 70% of people voted to recall these 3 school board members. What kind of message does this send?
Yeah, no, we crushed it. It was great. It's a great day in San Francisco today. I think the message is loud and clear. You know, we're not going to put up with this sort of stuff from the school board. So whoever the mayor wants to appoint next time, better watch out in terms of, holding kids out of school and prioritizing things like renaming schools or overly woke politics instead of helping kids learn. Because that's really what they're there for to begin with.
Leslie, now that these 3 school board members are gone, what kind of changes would you like to see made?
Well, that's a good question. We are going to see the mayor is going to appoint 2 people for 2 of the spots. And about 6 hours ago, Commissioner Maliga resigned immediately. So that means instead of staying another month in office, the mayor is going to be able to appoint someone much sooner, which is being very respectful to the voters.
Oh, so are you saying, Leslie, that now 4 school board members are out?
No, the 3 have been recalled, but because of the process, it takes about a month to certify everything. And so normally those 3 would be replaced at that time. One of them has Commissioner Maliga just resigned about 6 hours ago.
Oh, wow.
So that's being very respectful for the voters.
Oh, I understand that. Very interesting development there. Rob, I think the big headline here is that if 3 liberal school board members can be recalled in liberal San Francisco, it could happen anywhere. Is that how you feel?
Yeah. I mean, we're all here in San Francisco, so we're worried about job number 1 here. But you're right. I mean, this is, I'm a pretty conservative guy. I'm sort of one in a million here in San Francisco. But if it could happen here, it could happen anywhere. I mean, these were hyper leftist, radical woke types. Talking about racial equity when their actions proved absolutely had nothing to do with racial equity. I mean, it was all the poor kids, the black and brown kids that suffered most from these lockdowns. They lost like 20% of their math proficiency. Half of black kids in San Francisco USD were just MIA during the lockdowns from going to school. So those were the kids that suffered most. And then getting rid of a school like Lowell, where there's the last public school in San Francisco that has merit-based admissions, just basically locks them out of any track to a successful life here in the city.
Yeah. The crazy thing is that there's just so many examples of why this school board was going in the wrong direction, directly hurting kids. Yeah. And Leslie, the LA Times wrote, from liberal San Francisco, school board recall is a 3-alarm warning for Democrats. They go on to say, but it's a good bet that parents won't be forgiving or forgetting what's taken place over the last 2 plague years. And in that way, San Francisco's recall election may be the early rumblings of a much bigger shakeup to come. Do you agree with this?
I certainly do. What the recall election showed is that more people are getting involved in the government process. We registered a lot of first-time voters. We saw a lot of people voting that normally would not be voting. We saw people getting involved in activism, going to rallies and encouraging all their friends and family to vote. And we're seeing ordinary people that are looking to run for local positions. So Thomas Jefferson said, in America, we don't have a democracy by the majority. We have a democracy by the majority that participate.
I think it's a great way to end the segment. Leslie, Rob, thank you for joining us this morning. Congratulations.